the Vikings, a name whispered in fear and awe. But where did these fierce warriors come from? The answer lies in Scandinavia, a land of icy fjords and forested mountains. Here, amidst the harsh beauty, the Viking Age was born. From the 8th to the 11th centuries AD, these skilled seafarers emerged from the shadows. Their reasons for venturing out are complex. Some sought wealth and glory. Others were driven by overpopulation or political unrest. Whatever their motivation, the Vikings left an indelible mark on history. These were not uncivilized barbarians. The Vikings possessed a rich culture with their own laws, customs and beliefs. They were skilled craftsmen, creating intricate jewelry and powerful weapons. Their longships, masterpieces of engineering, allowed them to dominate the seas. And dominate they did, ushering in an era of exploration, raiding and trade that would reshape Europe. The Vikings were inherently tied to the sea. It was in their blood, a source of life and a pathway to adventure. Their mastery of shipbuilding was unparalleled. The longship, their most iconic vessel, was a marvel of design. Long and narrow, with a shallow draft, long ships could navigate rivers and open seas with ease. They were fast and maneuverable, powered by both sail and oars. This flexibility made the Vikings unpredictable and deadly. They could strike swiftly, disappearing just as quickly into the vastness of the ocean.
Life aboard these ships was harsh. We endured storms, cramped quarters, and the constant threat of enemy attacks. Yet we were a hardy and resilient people. We navigated by the stars, using our knowledge of winds and currents to cross vast distances. Our seafaring skills allowed us to reach distant lands, from North America to the Caspian Sea, making us the world's greatest explorers of our time.
The Vikings were known and feared for their raids. These swift and brutal attacks spread terror across Europe. Monasteries, coastal towns, and even major cities were vulnerable to their lightning strikes. The Vikings were not just mindless barbarians, however. They were strategic in their targets, often choosing wealthy and poorly defended settlements. Their first major raid targeted the wealthy monastery at Lindisfarne in 793 AD. The raid sent shockwaves through Christendom. It marked the beginning of the Viking Age in the eyes of many.
The Vikings were not driven solely by greed, however. Their motives were complex, often intertwined with political ambitions and personal vendettas. These raids were not without risk. The Vikings faced fierce resistance from the English, Franks, and others. Battles were bloody and losses significant on both sides. Yet the Vikings' military prowess, combined with their superior naval technology, made them a formidable force. They established a fearsome reputation, their name whispered in dread across the known world.
While the Vikings are often remembered for their raids, their story is much more complex. They were not just raiders, but also skilled traders, explorers, and settlers. Driven by a thirst for new lands and opportunities, they established settlements across vast areas. From the icy plains of Greenland to the fertile fields of France, the Vikings left their mark. They founded cities like Dublin, Limerick, and Reykjavik, places that still bear the echoes of their past. These settlements were not mere outposts, but thriving centers of trade and culture.
The Vikings were shrewd traders, exchanging goods like furs, timber, and slaves for silver, spices, and other luxuries. Our trade routes stretched from the Byzantine Empire in the east to the markets of Baghdad, connecting the world as never before.
Their voyages of exploration took them even further, reaching North America centuries before Columbus. The Vikings' thirst for adventure and their mastery of the seas had a profound impact on the course of history.
It's amazing to think about how far they traveled and what they achieved. The legacy of the Vikings is truly incredible.